Welcome back to the MotoFlamingo YouTube channel. As you guys saw in the thumbnail already, we have this beast that we want to present to you guys today, and we're gonna talk to the owner, to the rider. He's gonna tell you guys everything about this bike, or at least everything that he wants to tell you guys. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna be shy about holding information back, but that's information for him to reveal, not for me. Let me show you the bikes real quick and then we'll go to him. Here is his bike. It is a 2021 Harley Davidson Streetbob 114. Well, never mind about the 114 part, but we'll get to that here in a minute. So you guys see, we have Pandora here, our 19 Streetbob. I have been trying to keep up with him the entire ride. We've been having a freaking blast of a freaking rip, and yeah, it hasn't played out too well for me, but it's been a fun ride, at least watching him do his thing. All right guys, so here's Gio. He is the lucky owner of this amazing freaking beast right here. I'm going to go ahead and let him take over and tell you guys about this beautiful machine right here. What's up, Gio? What you got going on here, man?
What's going on, bud? Not a whole lot, man. Just burn the rubber, baby. That's it. So listen, man, we got this 21 Streetbob. Started off as a 114 and had fun with it, you know, just doing the East Coasting lifestyle, you know, the concrete cowboys lifestyle, you know, stunting around, burning rubber, you know, trying to wheelie and all that.
Yeah, and, I've been seeing that some of that today.
Yeah,
and
man.
He's not kidding about that, guys.
And you know, just messing around with it, and I figured I'll show you guys the little detail stuff that people don't see about these bikes. So, you know, we can start off in the front. Suspension wise, I got resin inserts, and I got, you know, just thicker oil in the front just to stiffen up the front suspension a little bit. Stock tubes, stock height in the front, and move up a little bit on the risers. I went and got some billet insert bushings, got rid of the rubber ones that are notorious on these soft tails for going bad. Then I did an OG moto setup. I did the risers, 6.5 inch rise with an 1.5 inch pullback. Did a low rise fly racing handlebars. Kind of brings the center of gravity a little lower. It kind of helps out a lot when you're doing the stunting and you're doing your little detail tricks. And of course, gotta support, you know, Flow Racing with all their controls. They make really great products. I cannot disagree with them at all. And up top, it handles really great, you know, for what it is. All right, bud, so listen, man, with the heart of this motor right here, I'm gonna tell you what, it started off as a 114 and had a fun time with it, made great power. I got it tuned. I was making 95, 100 torque. Had fun bike. Can't argue with it. Ride it till you die. But I ended up hurting the motor, and of course, you know, there's a lot of builders out there in this world nowadays, you know, and you got Fuel Moto, you got Moonshiners, you know, you got just tons and tons of people. And of course, we're here in Florida, and you know, one of the best builders here in Florida is All American Cycle. George, that guy is something else, man. So dropped the bike off over there and decided to do a big bore kit. And I just shoot up to the top, and I went and did a 128, and we did a high compression 128, and everything is done inside of the motor. It's a stock crank though. That's the only thing we did not touch, is the crankshaft, but everything in between has been twisted and worked on. So we can start off with the cam size. It's got a 600 lift cam. It's got S&S oil cam plate. It's got S&S adjustable push rods. It's got the push rod tubes. We ended up doing a billet backing plate on the air cleaner to open up to the bigger throttle body that we're running, an HPI 64mm throttle body. And we are running and also a HPI 64mm aluminum manifold, and got rid of the plastic junk that they put on these bikes, which is a notorious fail point. So they do that. And then of course we did bigger injectors. We did 6.8 injectors. Kind of leaves me a lot of room to play with if I'd ever decide to go E85 down the road. We ended up doing some head work. It's stock port, stock valve size, but it's got springs, retainers, valves, keepers. We ended up decking the heads. We did the deck to block, did 0 deck height on that, which is, trust me, makes all the world of difference on power for the little things. And on the pipe, Van Tine high output pipe, 2-in-1. Great pipe, sounds amazing, love it. I would like to get a longer pipe to make some more, because I'm losing a little bit of torque and power, but you know, run what you brung, baby. That's all I can tell you.
So I think a lot of the people might want to know what the magic that this thing is making is. So I know you're eager to tell them, what is this thing making out of this freaking beast of a motor that you got going on here, brother?
So power wise, we're making 142 horsepower, 145 torque. There's plenty on the table.
On a 600+ pound bike.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's a lot of power to weight ratio right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, 1 through 3rd is kind of a useless deal from the stop. You know, so I'm going through tires like every other month, man. It's no lie. But it's definitely a rowdy ride, man. I mean, it's got the torque that you want. If you're cruising at 80 miles an hour in 6th gear, you can just give it a handful and she'll wake up and get out of traffic, no problem whatsoever. No need to downshift. But if you need a downshift, it's there. Trust me, it's there.
Have you tried different rear tires already, I'm assuming, since you got this going on?
I have tried one different tire.
Okay.
Of course, it's a factory tire. So I started off with the, I think it's a Scorpion factory tire that came on there. I was running those at like 25 PSI. Okay. It helped, but still really hard tire. Then I'm on the Michelin American Touring tires.
Okay.
It helped out a lot softer, so it don't last as long. It grips up a little bit better. I am looking forward to putting a sticky tire on here, like a Cinco, like 777 or something like that. And then maybe possibly drag racing the bike, who knows? It's so, the options are endless, man. It's just, you could do whatever you want with this thing. You want to set it up for drag racing, I mean, just a few tweaks on the suspension real quick, change the tire pressures, and eat. You know what I mean?
Not to say that you have yourself tried it, but let's just say if you had to guess, what's a GPS speed on this bike that you would imagine that it's doing with this power plant?
I have set up the Draggy. A lot of people might not know what a Draggy is, and it's a satellite device that gives you a precise measurement of what you're doing, speed, 1/4 mile, 1/8 mile, 60 foot, and all of that. And I've done a couple of Draggy poos on it. The bike spin as fast as 11.0 spinning 1st through 3rd. I've taken the bike on GPS 154 before. People tell me I'm nuts. I got no stabilizer, no helmet. Just ride, baby. That's it, man. Just ride.
You're flying, bro. That's not riding, that's flying, bro.
Yeah, it's a wild ride, you know what I mean? Especially having no fairing. A lot of these touring bikes, you see them in the higher mile an hour, but they got a fairing, and you know, they got stabilizers on those bikes from the factory, so it's a lot more smoother, linear on the way up top.
The Harley fairing is, I'm sure it's helping you at least a little bit, because not having that, man.
Let me tell you, so no fairing, you might as well put seatbelt instead of handlebars to hold you back, man, because I'm telling you right now, when you get over 100, it's nuts. But yeah, fairing, day and night difference. I mean, I could get a bigger windshield, which I'm in the works of doing. Right,
I've seen for that fairing, yep.
It's literally, they're on back order. Okay. Unfortunately, Denim is the company that makes them. Okay. And they're just 4 to 6 weeks out. Okay. So I'm kind of waiting for them to gather up some inventory, and then I can jump in and hopefully get me at least a 14. This is a 9-inch. So at least a 14 to put it right around there. And that'll be I can only imagine, day and night difference.
All right, guys, so he's gonna bring you guys up to speed with what's going on the rear side of the bike here.
All right, man, so listen, you can make all the power and torque you want, but unless you don't got good suspension, it's a waste of time. So on the bike, I got the Fox EVO 11.5 shock. Such a difference and the riding compared to a stock shock. I mean, day and night, unbelievable. The tires, I'm running them at 28, about 30 psi, you know, because I do ride it everywhere.
All right.
Now, if you guys really key in to Streetbobs, you guys know that they come factory with spoke wheels. Unless you're buying a 22 and newer, that they come with mag wheels. I did a conversion kit that I made myself. I'm a machinist. I work at a machine shop. So I made my own spacers and shims to put an 09 dyno wheels front and back on the bike. And let me tell you, I get looks left and right because the wheels, you never see them on a Streetbob, you know. So I can truly say that this is the only 21 white Streetbob with 09 dyno wheels. And of course, you know, I got factory brakes front and back with ceramic pads, you know, a little bit better stopping. I am planning on getting me some Galford rotors here soon. I'm just trying to get more life out of the rotors that I got now.
What pads you're running? Galfer or EBC or?
No, EBC.
EBC,
yeah,
okay.
EBC Ceramic Pros.
All right.
Those are really reasonable price and not too expensive, you know, like some of these other ones, but really good bite up on the rotor itself. Now, drive line, I've changed a couple of things on the gear ratio of the bike itself. I did a Man of War compensator, solid, and we changed the gear ratio on that from a 34 to a 32, so I got a lot more bottom end. I did a Scorpion Evolution clutch basket, which was a big difference. So to change, you guys are familiar with these Harleys, they have 8 clutch plates, and I upgraded to 9 clutch plates. A lot more stiffer on the lever. I mean, you can't have it all nowadays, but you know, for the type of riding I do, that's what's necessary. I'm still running a belt, which is, I know a lot of people say, oh, you can't run a belt if you're making over 100 horsepower. Listen, I know plenty of guys that are in the 140, 150s, 160s, they're running belts. No problem. So that's one thing that's changing down the road here. I'm in the process of working on making my own shim kit for a chain drive. And I do plan on changing ratio again also when I do the chain drive. There's a lot of torque on the table being lost with a belt. Yes, a belt is softer, it cushions the impact when you slap on the throttle, and that's it's good for riding, it's good for cruising, you know, long term and all that. I mean, a lot of guys race with belts too, but you know, I can pick up at least 10 to 12 foot-pounds of torque just going with a chain drive. So that's in the works, you know, definitely in the works.
What's with the number here on the back, man?
So the numbers on the bag, man, so we go back to when I was a young dude. When I was 14 years old, I used to race motocross.
All right.
And that was my race numbers that I used to race on my dirt bike. And so if we want to talk about that a little bit, I come back from a racing past. I did a lot of motocross racing, I did a lot of quad racing, and I kind of got involved with the motorcycle world based off of me building race cars. And I said, man, these bikes are just as fast as these cars. It's amazing. So, you know, I figured let me do something different. Everyone's building sport bikes that are, you know, lightning fast. And I take my hat off to those guys, you know, that they live above 180. And you jump on a Harley though, man, you're talking double the weight, you know, and I mean, you literally, it's a different feel.
So you've been riding since you were around 14 around there?
Yeah, I started riding when I was 14.
Right on.
And I got my first actual motorcycle when I was 17 years old. It was a 2007 CBR 600 RR. That's
nice.
what it was. And had the bike, and I was young, you know, like everyone wants a fast bike. And I thought that was the fastest bike I've ever ridden, honestly. I mean, that thing was just ridiculous. And of course, I had a couple other Harleys. I got out of the street bike world because I wanted to start riding, like long distance. So I went, got my courage up, and I bought my first bike, which typically they call it the ladies' bike, which is a Sportster. But listen, let me tell you right now, it got my feet wet, it got my knees in the breeze, and I loved it. And I had that bike for about 6 months. It was a 1200. Fun little bike, very light. I think it was like 570 pounds, you know?
Yeah, they definitely got that above other bikes, the weight. So.
Yeah. So Harleys are heavier, but listen, man, I mean, you do have a better luxurious feel on a Harley versus a street bike. Everyone knows.
And you
that.
could go for distance and not just hauling ass for a couple blocks and then the ride's over.
Exactly. So, and hey, you know, I'm with that too. You know, I get on my bike, I'm not gonna lie, some days I get on and I just give it a hard rip for 10 minutes, I'm back at the shop. That's it, I'm done. I don't even need to ride no more for the rest of the week, man. So, for sure, you know, jumping from a Sportster, I went and saved up some money and I bought a 2022 Street Glide Special.
All right,
14. That was a real game changer. Going from a 580 pound bike to an 850 pound bike. You can see me, I'm a skinny dude, I'm 120 pounds. And it just was a lot. And I had that bike for a year and 2 months. George did a lot of work at All American Cycle on that bike. We did a cam, he tuned the bike, he did a 2-in-1 for me, and the bike ran awesome, loved it.
So I didn't even know that. So like, this is not the first bike that you take to All American Cycle. You actually taken bikes to them before, and you had a touring, and then from the touring you came back down to the Softail.
So a lot of people say I downgraded.
I don't. It depends on what you want from
Exactly. So, you know, I tell them it all depends on how you want to drink your coffee. Some people like it black, some people like it with creamer. So for me, I'm a skinny dude. I did my riding across the state of Florida, you know, and I enjoyed it. Awesome. Me and my wife and all of that. But then I decided I wanted to join the world of racing in the Harley world. And just like the term boat, bring out another 1,000, the Harleys are the same way, buddy. So you start spending all this money, you know, you do your stage 1, you do your stage 2, you jump up and get the courage and you're like, oh, let me do a stage 4, you know, and it never stops. Snowball effect, it keeps going. So, you know, I started off with this as a bone stock, brand new, out the showroom floor, had 4 miles on it, drove it for a year, and the motor blew up. And that's when I took it to the, what I call the best of the best, All American Cycle. All right, guys, so here we go. We're gonna talk about some of the foot controls and hand controls that I got on the bike. We can start off up top. These flow levers are the shorties, day and night difference, love them. Some people hate them because they want to have a whole hand grip on there. Me coming back from a motocross background, it's easier for me to just kind of have 2 fingers on there. The plus side, they're breakaway, so if you drop the bike, they can just, you know, go forward. They ain't gonna break the levers, which I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I dropped the bike like 3-4 times, you know, practicing, doing stunts and whatnot. I mean, you don't get good unless you fall, so, you know.
And this is not your first set of crash bars, right?
No. It's actually my, technically this is gonna be my 3rd set. 2nd set I broke. The 1st set was like a homemade set that, you know, everyone's got to do their own little thing, you know what I mean? So on the crash bar setup, I had to go with these because the ones that I had in the rear, it wasn't long enough. And when I dropped my bike the 3rd time, I was working on these figure 8s, and I dropped the bike and broke the mid control off the frame, and because I did not have a long crash bar in the rear. So big plus to these being longer than the foot peg itself. Always pay attention to that.
And they're pretty much, you're using them as the passenger peg as well.
Yes, that's another plus side too. They move up a little bit on the height, so the passenger isn't gonna be like stretched out. They got a little room, you know, to keep their legs comfortable. And yes, I do ride a passenger on this bike. So with the Saddlemen step up, with the Pro Gripper, works really good. It keeps me locked in. Having the backrest is a day and night difference. I mean, if you guys ever felt 140 foot-pounds of torque, you will slide.
And the Saddlemen step up is working out good for you. You have any plans for anything different, or?
I actually want to get one with a backrest. Because there's a lot of times where I'm trying to almost pick the bike up to do a wheelie, and the problem is with these MAs, they're just so torquey. And drive-by-wire, we're not talking about a throttle cable, so it's real finicky. And it's just hard to get it to hook up. You know, it just kind of breaks loose every time. So I feel like if I had a back rest a little bit higher, I can kind of throw myself back a little bit more and still be held in. That's between the seat height, that's also lower than factory. That's a big difference, because I did go with +2 in the rear, so that changed my whole perspective on the ground. Went with the Flow mini floorboards, the MX style pegs, because of course coming back from the MX background, it just felt more natural to my feet, you know, just feeling like if I was on a dirt bike.
I like them. I got the same pegs on my bike. I just noticed we have the same one.
Yeah,
just different color.
Yeah, man, they are just awesome, and I love them to death. There's a lot of little things that I plan on upgrading. I would like to, you know, do some collaborations with Thrashing and get some different stuff. Great company to be involved with. Just something to look forward to doing. You know?
I got a lot of Thrashing stuff on the bike over there, and I have more on the list that I'm gonna add to it for sure.
For sure, man, for sure. So one of the biggest things that maybe a lot of people notice, some people might not, we didn't really key into it, is the gas tank. So on these Streetbobs, they come with a graphic on the tank, and it's, some people like them, some people don't. I kind of like to be that different person that's, you know, the sore thumb that sticks out, and I decided to take the tank off and go get the tank painted and have them do a little airbrush, you know, logo on there. Honestly, it gives that bike that subtle look. You don't see many white Harleys. Most of them are colored or black. So, you know, just to see a white one, to me, white looks clean. So that's what I was aiming for.
It looks super clean, and the cleaner graphic on the tank as well. It looks super good on this bike.
I'll tell you what though, man, I honestly couldn't put this bike where it's at without those people, All American Cycle. George, man, he really took care of me. Alan, you know, those guys over there, man, they're really awesome. They stood out for me every single time.
He has they have their own channel. I know All American started their own channel recently, and then Alan's channel is Ride with Alan.
Yep.
We'll include it here on the screen for you guys.
Yeah, they go show those people love, man. They just got their YouTube going, and they're taking off, man. I mean, their shop has been super busy. I mean, they're a month behind, you know, and they got on a constant base 40 to 50 bikes at their shop to get worked on, to get big bore kits, or to get whatever general maintenance needs to be done. So shout out to those people.
I've seen more and more lately, a lot of people from out of state, even more and more coming down all the way down to their area in South Florida just to get their bikes done up by them. So
yeah, man, those people, All American Cyclists, bro, they are very meticulous with detail. You know, I went and dropped off my bike to do the build, and they did a couple extra things without me asking. Can't go wrong with that. Cannot go wrong with that. Those people, they got a lot of pride in their work, and that's hard to find. That's hard to find.
that's where we're going with that right there, and a couple other bikes from us. We'll definitely be going there, and thanks to Gio as well, because I've been watching their stuff through other people's channel, but then I linked up with Gio not long ago, and we started talking, and then he took his bike there after we met each other, and then he told me about his experience, and then obviously he's taken his stuff to them before, so I have no doubt I'm not looking anywhere else. That's exactly where we're headed.
Tell you what, man, you won't be disappointed. I can tell you that. You guys, anyone that goes there, hands down, the best experience you're gonna have. I mean, I couldn't even believe that they had an open house last week. Went over there, and the hospitality was amazing. You know, everyone was just really so helpful, you know what I mean? So shout out to those people, and you know, shout out to the Harley community, man. I mean, it's growing so much more than what it used to be. So it's dope, man. Very dope.
And a lot more younger riders, I think we're starting to see even more and more. A lot more of the performance side of the house, with the whole King of the Baggers world getting bigger and bigger. So it's kind of like the whole MotoGP style from when we come from like sport bikes and stuff like that, but on the Harley side. So
it's amazing. I mean, you get these guys that are, I can tell you the truth, a lot of dealerships, you can see it walking into the dealerships, they're basing everything now off of the performance side. nothing wrong with the originators, the cruisers, nothing wrong with the OG guys.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with them. It's just, you know, the times has changed and the demand is there for the performance side. And, you know, Harley has been listening to the people slowly, and they have been improving and improving. I mean, so much listening to the people, they actually built a custom race bike inspired, which they only made 131 of those.
Yep.
So think about that. You know what I mean? Who would have ever thought 20 years ago that they would have been making a race inspired Harley? So it's an impressive thing. Harley has came up a long way.
And then those shops and this type of client right here are making them even faster, stopping even better. So that said, guys, I know he has a list of stuff that he's still gonna do to this build between cosmetics and mechanical stuff still to the bike. So we're definitely gonna be doing another video on this bike in the future, I have a feeling, and we'll show you a lot more on this bike. In the meantime, brother, it's been a pleasure having you out here. I know we've been trying to link up for a minute.
I know it, man. It's been like, you know, you busy and then I'm free, and then I'm free, you're busy.
And we don't live too close to each other either.
No,
so
man, a couple hours apart, you know what I'm saying? But hey, we bringing to the people what they want to see and giving them the information they need to know, and that's what really matters. I can tell you one thing right now, I'm super grateful for modern society. YouTube is an awesome thing, and it promotes people so well. So keep doing your thing, man, and you know, I hope the people like the bike. I
can't wait for people to see your awesome freaking bike right here, bro. I think everybody's gonna like it. I mean, I freaking love this thing. Looking forward to my bike putting out the numbers that yours is putting out. That's coming out soon, God willing. And with that said, guys, I am looking forward to hopefully making a second video on this bike, especially after he does a few more things to it. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome to the MotoFlamingo YouTube channel, and please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing the video. And if you are not new, thank you for your continued support for the channel. The channel is growing thanks to you guys. So ride safe and see you guys on the next ride.